Alright, so you guys asked for part 2, so here it is. So in the last video, I explained Plato's allegory cave, and I'm going to go into everything that is behind Fuzzy, but this makes me believe the Plato narrative even more. As you can see, Fuzzy is turned around, and Fuzzy is holding a board. And on that board, you have, I guess, like a communist trademark. You have the Freemasons, you have the sun, you have the V, and it looks like, I forget what that number is. But now picture that as the wall. That is the board game. And then you have the cards shining light, just like Plato's cave theory, onto the board game, which is revealing those pieces on the board. And we all know that that board that Fuzzy is holding is a BG123 style clock. But on the post, it says on the 589th day. So if we do that from when Fuzzy was created, you would get September 4th, 2026. Now, when you look at this wall, some things that stick out is Japan's flag, and then this, which looks like a continent. Some people say Iceland. When I personally look at it, I see like Brazil. And why that makes sense to me personally is because of the BRICS nation. And then when you look back to the last Fuzzy riddle post, spelt mission improperly, and then when you look up BRICS pay, it is spelled exactly like that. And that is the tie-in. So that's why I believe that is Brazil. I don't know. Looks pretty similar. And then when you look down here, you see the bearable guy ship, and then you see the god hands touching, but then you see that ship going through some type of pathway. And now here's a closer view of it, which to me looks like the Strait of Hormuz. But then we look over here and you see this chart, and then obviously towards the end it's going to the moon. I think some would assume that it was possibly an XRP chart, but when you look it up, the wicks on each chart are very similar. Now, if Fuzzy predicts some type of godly candle, that would be pretty amazing. And on the wall is this number, which ties into a bearable guy post. But then on the bearable guy card, you see these two switches, which is now part of the new card game. You also see these switches on the wall in the Fuzzy riddle. And then you can also find ML Chem, which is a quantum resistant cryptographic algorithm. It allows two parties to securely establish a shared secret over public channels designed to withstand future attacks by quantum computers. And as we know, that's been a very big discussion lately. David has even brought it up. And that's usually a lot of people's arguments towards crypto, is to be afraid of quantum computing. But we know Fuzzy tells us that XRP will flip Bitcoin. And it also seems like we're being told that quantum computing isn't something that we should be afraid of towards at least XRP. And if the flipping is happening, that right there could be part of the recipe. Also on the wall, you can find 256-bit encryption is a data security standard that uses 256-digit binary key. It is a standard security used by government and banks. It is maximum security. So much within this image is tied to quantum computing. Also, if you look up here, it says Shor next to the 256-bit. Shor's algorithm is a 1994 quantum algorithm developed by Peter Shor that factors large integers exponentially faster than classical computers, threatening modern encryption like RSA. It uses quantum parallelism to find the period of a function crucial for security, but requires advanced fault-tolerant quantum computers not yet fully available. So the question is, does Fuzzy know that XRP is capable of using all of this utility within itself, and it's already prepared for quantum computing? Now, all in all, within the image itself and the riddle itself, a board game is coming for the cards. And you're probably going to be able to play it physically, but it's also going to digitally happen. So there's probably going to be a marketplace also for your cards, so then you can trade your cards and then also play the game against other people. And it's almost like he's taking everything out of this book, the mythos, to put it into the game. So if we take Plato's theory, Fuzzy has turned around and took everything that's going on and has created his own game. And now we get to be a part of it and also create our own world within it. And then also in this corner area where he says, and Fuzzy says, let there be green light, there is AES 252, which goes inside bit 252. My bad, AES 256, which goes into the 256 bit. But somebody points out the bear, considering that as a bear market, but I personally consider that as the bear, the North Star bear. And then recognizing how Fuzzy is in an ice cave, what an ice cave could usually represent, powerful liminal space often symbolizing the interior castle of the mind, profound solitude, or a crystalline sanctuary for personal reflection. Which, when you tie everything together in general, within everything that we're doing within this community, makes perfect sense, as like it's taken us a year to get to this game, but when we first started this journey, we had no idea that it was going to get to this point. So within time, everything that we are believing is crystallizing. Now, did I miss things in this video? Probably. Are there some other things I can go at? Probably. If there are, tell me in the comments. Like, follow, share. Let me know your thoughts. And also on the wall, just to finish it off, it says April 26th. So could April 26th be the day the Clarity Act gets signed? All I do know, we are so close.